Hi, my name is Corey Edgar. I'm from Elgin, Scotland, and this is my senior spotlight. Growing up in Scotland, playing golf was pretty much a dream because, I mean, it's the home of golf and you get pretty much all weather conditions you could possibly ask for. And I think it's truly the toughest test of golf that you can get. If I could have a hole-in-one at Pebble, Phoenix, Sawgrass, or Augusta, I think it's going to definitely be Augusta for me, just because it's such an iconic hole. But it's such a hard decision between that and Pebble Beach for me, just because, again, they're just probably the two most iconic par threes in golf, and then the same with Sawgrass. So, but I think it would be Augusta. If I could caddy for one pro, past or present, it would be Rory McIlroy for sure, because he's been my golfing hero since I can remember. And I mean, sure, a lot of people would say Tiger just because of how great and dominant he was, but I mean, no one in my eyes compares to Rory McIlroy. When I'm at the academy, I'm usually listening to Lil Baby because he's my favorite rapper, or I'm listening to Bon Jovi because they're my favorite rock group. Shout out to Mom for that, because she put me on that. So yeah, the moment I realized I could play golf was when I got my first coach, David Torrance, who is now a top 100 coach in the UK. That's when I first realized I could start playing this game seriously, because he taught me what it's like to be great, and just the fundamentals of my game, which I've brought through my entirety of playing golf. My favorite Saddlebrook memory, there's actually two. Like the second week of my freshman year, so the very first time I was here, we went to Miami to watch the Patriots-Dolphins game. And it was just kind of like an in-the-moment thing. We all just asked Michael Stevens, who was the head RA at the time, if we could go and watch the game. And yeah, we just went and did it that weekend. And then the other memory was probably the whole time through quarantine, which is probably a bit of a surprise, but me and my roommate at the time, Charlie Fisher, we had a blast. It was just us two in the room and pretty much had the whole resort to ourselves and the golf courses to ourselves, so we had a blast. The one thing I'm most looking forward to in college is playing for the team, just because in golf you don't really get many team scenarios, so I think it'll definitely be a whole new experience, kind of contributing towards the team and having a group of guys that are all just kind of pushing you to be the best that you can possibly be on any given day. The best book that I've ever read is either Silent Mind Putting by Robin Seeger or Divergent. I think they're just, well, two very different books. One gives me a ton of knowledge about putting and the mindset that goes into it, and then Divergent is one of the best books I've ever read, and it's kept me hooked through the whole way. So the best holiday, in my opinion, has to be Christmas. I don't think anything compares to it. You get music, movies, family feel, lights, decorations, all that. So there's nothing that even comes close to it, in my opinion. If I could go anywhere in the world to vacation, it would be Tokyo, Japan, for sure. Definitely in the springtime, so I could see the cherry blossoms, just because it's always been a dream for me to go somewhere in the Asian countries, just because they've always fascinated me. New York has always been kind of like a cool place I've wanted to see, but I don't think anything beats Tokyo, in my opinion. One thing I like to do in my free time is play more golf or go to the gym. I find a lot of peace working out. Just kind of, it's a big stress reliever, especially when I build up my own stress that's unneeded. The one person that I know is going to make me laugh there's actually three people. Judah, my roommate, and then two of my past roommates, Charlie Fisher and Jimmy King. They never ever fail to make me laugh, even when I'm having the worst of days, so I really appreciate those guys for that. My biggest pet peeve is slow golf. I hate it more than anything else on the golf course, just because if you're playing well, you don't really like waiting around with your thoughts, and then you start kind of overthinking everything, and then even worse when you're playing bad because you just want to get off the golf course, but you can't because there's a 4-ball ahead of you that are just chomping it up in front of you, and yeah, they won't let you through either. Is that you, Mr. Zinke?
That's me. Definitely not letting you through. You're gonna suffer just like I have to suffer. I
have a couple songs that will get me up and dancing every time. The first one being Sky by Playboy Carti. I just think it's just a very kind of hype song, and also While My Guitar Gently Weeps, but when only the version when Prince is playing the guitar, just because I think it is the greatest guitar solo in human history. Again, Shout out to my dad for putting me on that one because I don't listen to rock music if I'm not with him. So, thanks, Dad. The show that I can't stop watching is Suits. It's a lawyer show, and it's genuinely the greatest show that has ever been made. I think it's an absolutely fantastic show. It's funny, it's filled with action, and it makes you want to be a lawyer even though you don't want to be a lawyer. The best social media app, in my opinion, is TikTok right now, just because, I mean, I find myself scrolling for hours sometimes, and I won't even realize that I've been on there from like 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. and then I'll have pretty much wasted just 2 hours of my day. But it's worth it sometimes. Mr. Oznicki won't agree with me on that. My celebrity crush is Zendaya. That first came around in the Spider-Man films. I had a pretty big crush. I mean, I think I watched the second one solely for Zendaya. Tom Holland was pretty good too, but I don't have as big a crush on him as I do Zendaya. Don't put that in. Don't put that in. You can bleep it out. If I could trade places with anyone, it would be Rory McIlroy again. I mean, that might sound like my celebrity crush, but I promise you it's not. Because he's just such a phenomenal golfer, and I think just the way he lives his life is one to be modeled off of. Just the way he handles himself on and off the golf course is phenomenal. The food that I could eat all day, every day is mango, 100% without a doubt. It's the best fruit/food of all time. There's just so many benefits to it. It's tasty, it's filling, it's amazing. You can make juice out of it, smoothies, anything. It's great. The one thing that I'm grateful for is family, for sure, because I wouldn't be in the position I am right now if it wasn't for family. They put enough trust and faith in me to send me over to Saddlebrook and be able to pursue what I love doing, and I'm ever grateful for that. So I want to say a big thank you to my family, and yeah, done.